Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my current playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 8.6. Okay, we're going to continue. We're almost to June. And yes, they're attacking, counter-attacking. They're going to be cut off. They're attacking there. What we're waiting for here is breathlessly is for these guys to make it. Moving pretty fast for this terrain. Jungle. Maybe across the river even. Into a plains area. I think they may be out of air supply range too. Of course, is uncomfortable. Gotta get there before the supplies run out, which looks like they will, and they did. Okay, now. Well, we've got excess production again. Probably means we got some more stuff. Ooh, okay, we're getting some of that. Good. Now, oh, I probably should have been sending those back. Okay, yes, go. These guys just been sort of not thinking. They should have been coming up here to grab. Actually, you know what I want to do is I want to bring them up here and grab this big pile of stuff. Excuse me. Wow, that just came out of nowhere almost. No, I don't think I'm getting cold. Oh. Rocket interceptors. Go with real interceptors. There we go. Oh, and we need to do this. That's sort of why I started going there first. Out of Bordeaux to there. Now let's look, make sure that got, yep, supplies running to there, good. Okay, we're back to very high popularity. We should be. We just invaded South America a little bit. We're bringing victories back to the German people after the losses in the First World War. Anti-submarine escort carrier technology. Oh, I think that, or does it? No, it's a carrier. Okay, it's a one and done. And fighter ground crew training advance. noun is lost. Yes, we killed that a while ago. Okay, yeah, we'll take this. Lots of stuff. Okay, yeah, I don't send it over here. Not sure where we'll use it. Over here would be okay. No thanks. So we'll lose some of descent, but we don't have any descent. This thing keeps firing, and there's supposed to be a second event, but just I don't think I played long enough to have it happen most of the time. Okay. Assassinate SS police officers in northern Italy. Christian With was an SS officer and one of the leading architects of mass murder program known as Operation Reinhardt. After his repelling assignment, Reinhardt With was sent to Trieste in Italy, along with other former Acton Reinhardt staff. Okay. From autumn 43, Rith's role was to oversee concentration camps there as well to combat partisans over the border in occupied Yugoslavia. He commanded SS Task Force R, which engaged in anti-partisan actions in the Trieste Fiume Udine area in northern Italy, allegedly to remove potential witnesses. Their superior's assignment former death camp staff to most of the dangerous jobs in the anti-partisan combat. Worth was killed in May 44 by Yugoslav partisans while traveling in an open-top car on an official trip to Fiume. Okay, yeah, I'm actually surprised this is here. I didn't put this in just because, well, I'm sort of I'll say I'm glad it's here, but it's stepping a little bit past what I do of, and nobody mentioned, of course, everybody who's watching this, nobody mentioned it on the forums, the Paradox forums. You can talk about it below here, that's fine. I keep dealing with, I don't use words like concentration camps. If somebody's put into one, and I do have some events that cover some, one of the guys who got a Nobel Prize, not a Peace Prize, I don't think, but just a Nobel Prize. I call him putting it, you know, he's been detained or imprisoned, you know, without using the word camps. Camps just makes for things a little more problematical for Paradox. But yeah, prison, sure. Talk about it there, and I normally talk about the other atrocities, mass murder program and whatnot, as cloak it in terms of anti-partisan warfare or anti-guerrilla warfare, like when I cover the Jewish ghetto uprising in Warsaw. But yeah, glad it's here. Okay, ooh, we and then yeah, now and I don't specifically know about this. This should also this should not be happening because the SS can't do this here. This is Italian territory. I mean, and unfortunately, I'm going to yeah, I'm gonna have to try to remember this after, because I'm gonna make sure there's a I'm guessing this is GGA, but I don't know. Contact whoever. They need to put a check to see that Italy's fallen, because this is only going to happen if Italy, you know, Germans occupying Italy kind of thing. So Wouldn't happen otherwise. Well, since we caused this problem. Oh. Yes. No, those are for the Panzer artillery and whatnot, are for a different unit. Will help crush this little thing. Abduct the German commander on Crete. Kidnap General Reinhardt. Crete was a Second World War II operation by Special Operations Executive SOE. The mission took place in German-occupied island of Crete, May 44 on March 44. Crete was appointed commander of the 22nd Air Landing Infantry Division operating Crete, helped by Cretan resistance fighters. The SOE team successfully abducted Crete, managed to evade German troops searching for him. When the team reached the coast, they were picked up by the Royal Navy and taken to Egypt. After the war, members of Crete's staff reported how, on hearing the news of his kidnap, an uneasy silence in the officers' mess at Herculaneum was followed by, "Well, gentlemen, I think this calls for champagne all around." Oh, he must not have been popular. Wow. Well, it is creep. Maybe a less evocative term to use in German. Pronouncing it doesn't sound quite that way, but okay. And again, this should not be firing. Why, you may ask? Well, there ain't no British around. Gotta have control of some British territory. Then yeah, then have it fire. All good for that. Okay, Schwer Panzer Abteilung 510 formed in 44 at Preborn and sent to Lithuania, where it fought in the Kurland pocket until the end of the war, attached to the 14th Panzer Division. Do we want to form it? Yes, please. I'm going to decide not to send it to the Kurland pocket and have it fight there to the end of the war. Where is it? Here, okay. There we go. Cool. Well, let's get a Panzerish type commander at it. Nice mechanized port battalion, that's good. Back. Okay, that works. Let's move him down here. And okay, we can produce even more. Got a lot of fighters coming. Again, we're sort of lowish now on troop strength. And we're getting enough other divisions. We don't need to do it. It's one thing to making some support units, and these are costing some too, but we need them to free up the good divisions other places. So we got a lot of those. But we got enough good divisions, and we're going to be getting some more, as we have been for two events. Well, we got carriers coming. Got two of these guys coming here. They're supporting staff. So well, let's build 3 battleships, proper big battleships. I think we'll still be fighting the war by that time. 46, well, maybe not. I don't know. Depends. Because sometimes, quite honestly, like defeating America, once we defeat Britain, and just sort of the logistical getting across the water and getting the units there. But we'll get those started. Finally got our electro submarines out. And we'll do a couple more of these. These are good. Submarine suppression. Oh, also. Where are they? Oh, escort carriers. Escort carriers. I don't think, though I may be wrong about that, I don't think these guys actually carry any aircraft. You know, like the other ones. They're sort of like the current 9.0 aircraft. And that they have a lot of like partisan, or not partisan, submarine suppression abilities and that kind of thing. Well, maybe it, no. Yeah. Yeah, because see, notice that has add cags and that has add cags checked, so no. But we'll do that. We'll get that done. Anti-submarine type things. That's good. Get those in production. Those will only take 6 months. And for technologies, get those going. There we go. Well, let's roll over them. How would you like to crush some partisans? See how quickly they're going down? And even more stuff is coming out. Man, we're getting a lot of stuff being deployed now. No, not that. We have the Brigade Schmidt, I think. Maybe some of this, but we also have still back here. Did I not get it moved? No, I haven't gotten it moved. Okay, but I did get these guys. This with the police bullet side unit. It'll be easier just to drop these here, here, and here, there. Because it is worth keeping these, or improving these off group type units. Some good supporting elements. And I'm not going to move you because at this moment, because I think we have that in a matter of a day. Get a motorized regiment. Guess what is it? A lot of, maybe a bunch more of other stuff too, because sometimes it goes, yeah, just that. Okay. Some more. Did have that other brigade here. We improve with some supporting units as well, so let's do that. What interesting things can we do legitimately as supporting units there? Motorized units. Oh no, we could do the mixed support, but prefer more interesting stuff. Or do we want to go with that's the light, this is the Schwer. Or no, the regular. Do we have the... Or the medium, I guess I should say. Yeah, okay. We could do that. That'd be interesting. They're going cheap. 2 infantry. Get some anti-tank. We're going to do motorized pioneers. Need them to get across rivers or fight across rivers. Let's get a view for them. They'll be, unlike the comp group, they need a HQ to get combined arms. Well, that would go with them well. Okay, so now we didn't do any artillery. What is? I guess we could use that. I guess maybe not an SP version of that, or the event just hasn't fired. So we'll do that. That'll be a non-SS. There was that Luftwaffe element, so we'll attach that to it. So we have, yeah, that looks pretty good. So, and let's move all that up to the top. I don't want it before I just more long-range fighters and things. And we should build a few more of these. Yeah, and I think even 4. We've got a couple of big stacks of them. Got a lot more paras. And I can just see a lot more air supply needing. And I mean, as I'm looking at it, I'm going another 2. Don't want to overdo it, but another 2. There we go. Because we are going to have a lot of stuff. I know that's a lot there, but we're going to have a lot of stuff here coming in a matter of days that kind of clear out the production queue. I did put down a few more. I don't know if they're active or not. What are these guys? They get active. These guys. We don't remember any naval battles, but they've been taking a little bit of damage, so against air attacks. go. Intercept stuff. Flying stuff. Petrol rationing, not now. Okay, hydrophones advanced, great. Yeah, we'll stop that. Don't want to keep that going. But helps a lot of stuff get better. Cruiser crew training. We'll at least want to shift that to a different one, yeah. Marine crew training, yeah, let's switch it to that. Okay, battleship crew. What would be our... Yep. We want to do that. Spotting advance. Can we see other things out there? Yes, we can see other things out there. We got better at looking through binoculars. Medium anti-aircraft armament. That's upgradable, so that is good to do. Come on, jet tax. Gotta be sometime soon. And we'll do capital ship radar. Okay, good. We'll move one there. You can stay at the port, that port. Yes, we've got that. Good. Now, drop that there. There and there. There we go. Now, let's put these guys. Oh, made them too big for this. No, that's what I'm planning on moving you with. Well, let's come back up to here then. With you. It means I'll probably forget about it, but, well, what can we do? I'd forget about it even if I'm playing on my own. No, we're not going to rush across the water with you. Just with that. That's just too much, too easy to... We got them Russian forces in. How big is this port? Not that big, but we'll also get this other one up here soon. Yes, you may have metal. Iraq. And anti-submarine armament. Or submarine anti-air armament. Got all that messed up. Fire control systems advance, which allows research of a bunch of, or training advance, which allows other things. So fire control training. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, and if you haven't already, just a quick note, subscribe to my channel. More cool videos like this. They tell me in YouTube school I should be doing this. And then when I even see big guys with like 5 million, 10 million subscribers or something, they're doing it all the time, so I guess it's more important than I think. Yeah, well, no, we'll want to rebase because I may want to send some of these units here somewhere else. Okay, launch Small Arms Program 44. After many visits to the front lines, Albert Speer proposed to Hitler an emergency program with the highest prioritization for small arms production due to many other prioritizations in the armaments policies for different branches. The armed forces, this program yielded not enough momentum to deliver intended impact. However, the ever-dwindling resources of the Reich were stretched even further. Okay. Now I use that photo, the one on the left there, for one of the events covering specifically the Sturmgewehr 44. And Hitler's dealing with it. And this over here is pretty cool. I haven't seen that before. But, you know, some factories for the front, or Waffen, so that'd be arms. A shaft, don't really right now, but Waffen for a die front. Okay. Handing ammunition, or hand grenades up there. Okay, so 2,000 supplies, 2,000 metal, and 2,000 rare materials. Well, fortunately, I have the rare materials. Gain small arms infantry support and small arms manufacturing land build speed minus 4% until there. So yeah, we'll do this. We'll pay for this. We are building a bunch of these guys as well at the moment, so oh good, the Africa Corps here. Okay, well let's go to the most useful version here. The map. We're going to attack with the mountain troops. Tracking to the hills there. I'm guessing most of the Brazilian armed forces that are left after we destroyed some are to the south. We're going to join that. And here you're going to exploit out there. You're going to support that attack. Well, into the mountains against the Americans. Bro, haven't heard of him before. No, we don't want this. Okay, June 7th here. You know what June 6th was? D-Day. Okay. Embark upon the Great Crusade. Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon a great crusade towards which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. Hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of the Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, security for ourselves in the free world. Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemies are well trained, well equipped, and battle hardened. He will fight savagely. But this year, 1944, much has happened since the Nazi triumphs of 40-41. The United States have inflicted upon the Germans great defeats in open battle, man to man. Our air offensive has seriously reduced their strength in the air and their capability to wage war on the ground. Our home fronts have given us an overwhelming superiority in weapons and munitions of war and placed at our disposal great reserves of trained fighting men. The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together for victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessings of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking. Amen. Yes. Okay, so. Boom. Boom. Oh my God. I did not know where that was going to happen. Wow. 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 Oh, wow. I don't even know if you all know, everyone's knowing why I'm laughing so hard. Oh, wow. Cool. Oh, Nuvion. Nuvion. Oh, it's saying it's still Boulogne, but yeah. Von Strom and Klinkerhofen. Von Klinkerhofen is fighting it. They get D-Day'd right on top of them. Oh my God. That is so funny. Because I know it can happen because there's a random chance around here. Oh, this is exciting. Like I say, this is random chance, and I think it's heavier weighted to come to like Normandy here, because this here is Normandy, this is Brittany, this the Palais de Calais or whatever sort of greater region here. This is Boulogne particularly. Boulogne does have a port on it, but it doesn't show up on here, primarily because if you look, at least I look, the maps that I've seen are sort of Napoleonic era maps, sort of like a square port, and then with a or inside, you know, sort of an inland square port, and then sort of a long, narrow canal, if you will, that sort of goes out to sea. You know, sort of a breakwater on either side. I've never been to Boulogne, and I don't know what it's like today, but and that fairly smallish ships of the sailing era could get in and out of this with some difficulty. But I don't even think, and I may be wrong, but I don't, if I remember correctly, I don't think a ship of the line from the you know, the Napoleonic era, which were pretty big ships, could come up into there. So it's nothing that would really be able to supply a major or, you know, have major ships come in and out of. So I understand why it isn't, but look at that, 17 armored brigades, you know, full brigades there, and 6 you know, battalions armored. 21, though some of them are at half strength, it looks like. Mechanized regiments, 8 motorized. The 2 garrisons are what are, you know, the German unit. 20 self-propelled. Oh, I've got to make a really good, hope it still draws in. I could make a really cool thumbnail with this. I don't know. Yeah, I experiment with different thumbnails. I've learned by watching things, if I use the same basic image but just change like the event number on it and other little minor things, viewership falls off. And then when I do something different, it spikes up, but it doesn't matter what day of the week it is. It just, if there's something different, it spikes up. But I also sort of noticed that if it's different every time, it doesn't seem to fall, but it doesn't spike up so much unless, I don't know, just something catches the imagination. So, it varies. Patton was one that shot up really high when I first used Patton in this series, just not so long ago. And that shot up. But when I used stuff, an Indian recruiting poster and some Indian things, even though it was very clearly marked as part of this series, it got a lot less views. So just sort of that, and so I've sort of experiment with trying to get you to click on things. But this is funny. But also here, okay, as it is now, boom, now, might not be in 9 or something here. Do not, or if you want to defend well against here, because see, okay, that's combat with, but I have the arm, well, see, I don't know which is affecting which, but we have fort modifier, and I think is, you know, if we go here, because this is what I've sort of been waiting for when you now analyze, and it hasn't changed, because this is now US occupied France. As opposed to German occupied France. And for the scripted invasion, the defenses, I believe, help the attacker. Notice Montgomery currently is in under American command there. Now, if you'll note, the monthly attacks here, when there's like appear below this unit or below this unit or any of these other units, you drop a unit here, you know, a partisan here, it stays in control of, you know, Serbia for this case, but until this unit is beat that's already here. Now if you drop one in here, it immediately goes to partisan control. Now I know part of what you're doing here is you get supply. Now of course here they can't supply. The AI won't do air supply. It's just not programmed to do so. I have seen very extremely rare occasions, including one that someone post some screenshots of the Soviet Union paratrooping in to a lightly defended Berlin when they had, you know, borders somewhere here. So I have seen the very rarely, like I say, do paradrops with their transports, but otherwise their transports are useless. Yeah, I'm sort of pausing to analyze this here and hope it's of interest to you, because you're obviously going to be playing these games. I think, and I'm going to look at the code. I'm definitely going to look at the code, and I'm definitely going to see if I can make an intelligent view of this. I want to change this, and I don't know what revolver held is, but I'm going to tag him into the conversation on the thread over in Paradox, or on the Paradox forum for Black Ice. Because obviously now, you know, part of the reason I've set these here, part of the reason is for supply, because we've been having such real problems getting supply to these areas. The reason it's working now is, I think, the air supply, and even maybe more so, is, you know, I'm supplying them via the sea. So that helps there, but that's part of my reason for, that's one of the areas. that's messed up with. But one of the reasons I parked them back here. Another reason was it's at a, you know, it goes to the old Central Reserve versus spreading them out everywhere. But obviously, I did not think they were going to come to Naval. I thought they were going to be maybe here, which didn't have a port, but it would also get maybe, you know, drop into 2 provinces here. This is sort of where the British landed, but they charged for Le Havre. Because the only port they could really get to is Calais without having to cross this river, cross through this province, and fight down here to Dieppe. So I thought they were going to come to a port, quite honestly. Scripted to do so. Or at least as part of the stuff. Very low priority, thought it would be over here, but possibly. I have in earlier playthroughs had the scripted invasion come into here. So I thought that was a possibility. So we got all of these guys up here ready to come in and mash whatever attack there. And these guys were, you know, more for here and here and over here, but ready to move up there or move towards here. You know, I was ready for that, quite honestly. Really didn't think. I thought maybe I would get my... There is the 1 fortress division here, but I thought I'd maybe get my Naval garrison units to be part of the counterattack or hold the line or something like that. Oh man, this is still too funny. Huh. Well, we're gonna keep playing from here. This isn't like anything we're not gonna do. But so I've got to look at the code and really, and the Panzeroo before him, but now oh my god, and oh, it's a German name, but I know he's English. D and G are the initials. But look at the code and make it similar to when you drop the partisans in there, because I want the scripted invasion. I also hope Revolver Held does that too. And if you're going to choose to not drop it, because I'm guessing this thing here is just put offshore to sort of represent the invasion force. Because the best way would be if we could do the code, and I don't think you can, and I don't even know whether the AI would continue it. It would be the question. If you get the code from like a saved game that has, I don't know if you can, you know, that's in the middle of an active, you know, you're offshore and you're just starting to invade kind of thing, get that code to, that would be the best of all worlds, would be to put this big mammoth fleet or big mammoth force on a fleet off the coast and have it pointed and, you know, percentage to, you know, achieving the edge of the landing, you know, make it 90% or something like it, so it's like almost to the shore, you know, and that would be, in my opinion, the optimum. And hell yeah, if you're what we're doing here and you can move, you know, these huge stacks of divisions, there's what, 23 armored car reconnaissance units, 13 panzer battalions just right here in this one stack here, and not, well, that's just some HQs. There's more stuff here that I could move. Obviously I would not have been letting all of that just sit here if I really thought we were going to have some super invasion, or all of that armor unit there just sit down here. You can defeat it, but if you're in that kind of position, you know, man, you should be able to defeat it. So that's really interesting. So for the time being, and if the code hasn't changed on 9, and I'll take a look at that and maybe post it down the notes whether it's changed or not. You just may decide to save your money and resources and not build the Atlantic Wall, because until things change, and though maybe with Revolver Helds, he's programmed his stuff. I haven't looked at it yet. I know I installed it for that installation video, but I haven't looked at it yet. How he handles it. That this really is not a good idea. The only thing I can think is a little bit of a good idea is, and maybe is, this is now very well defended, and this is now very well defended from breakout and to secure a port. So maybe there's that argument. But obviously, you know, you got the Pulitsai division and this other former reserve division that's now a more proper panzer division, just with one battalion of tanks. Not full regiment, but lots of motorized infantry. Immediately ready to counterattack. Of course, driving up here, we've got basically an army's worth of SS units. Functionally five divisions there. You know, some of those are the Schwer Panzerabteilung, but there, that's just the headquarters, ready for units to be attached. Another 5 divisions. Some are, you know, sort of kind of just, but, well, that's already up there, I guess, but yeah. And then we have there another 4 divisions, which some may not be so great, but others, you know, we've got Liebstandart there with the battle commander there. That makes that a really sort of kick-ass division. And Simon down there with just that. So that's, you know, an army of there. And I got more units here. Oh, that's just a Ranger Brigade. I meant to attach them to somebody else, but like maybe. Well, they've already got a motorized brigade. But we've got a lot of units to counterattack with, and of course we've got all of that. Großdeutschland, Panzerlehr, and other Windhounds up here somewhere. Yep, we've got Windhound down here, and the Hermann Göring division. So we've got a lot of stuff to come in, and of course I've also had, which have been sitting over here for a long time, a bunch of these either light armor, you know, foreign light armor here, foreign regular armor. So these are pretty poor as panzer divisions go, but they're still panzer divisions, so that they're ready to move up too. So we're not going to really be that hard up for that division. Got that there. So we've got a lot of stuff we can move in here to attack, counterattack. They could attack. So, and yes, I'm thinking we're gonna do all of this next episode. Man, that was so funny. I haven't laughed like that in a long time. It just, what luck would it be that Colonel von Klinkerhoffen, this is, well, this is the highest ranking guy in the group, but currently is being led, battles being led by von Sturm, who's a 0 level commander. At least von Klinkerhoffen's a level 1, and Gruber, he's a level 1 with his little tanks, armored cars. And you got here Flick's Gestapo, 500 man Gestapo unit, facing the wrath of, and I still have to fix the Italians, but facing the wrath of D-Day invasion along with 1 fortress division. That is just the luck of it happening. It just this is incredible. It was incredible. And see, now another thing here is, if I were to start diving on this or bombing these things, the anti-air there. Is it going to hurt me? I think so. That's also part of the problem. So, like, yes, to keep the front from breaking out and being rolled up after this, these other forts do have a an element. And from a landward attack, oh well, let's just, we don't have any the one with the offshore thing, as if we're coming in. So no, so this doesn't affect these battles. It's just these two anti-aircraft. If I were to try to start sending in my bombers to bomb the hell out of them, am I facing my own anti-aircraft? That's the trick. And of course, the reason it worked historically, well, I could say there's many reasons, but the big reason it worked historically is because they were facing serious threats from the Soviet Union and had the great bulk of the German army on the Soviet front. This was an important front, but and also they had everybody, of course, everybody remembers what's happened June 5th, don't you? June 5th. The very famous day, June 5th. The Allies took Paris. I mean, sorry, not Paris. Rome. Took Rome. That's why I clicked down here. I knew where I was doing, but I said it wrong. Took Rome. Now, basically with no opposition, the Germans decided not to fight. Well, they fought for Rome out in Anzio, but they didn't, you know, dig in and fight city battles there. And so when Mark Clark took Rome, he thought he was going to be the great conquering remembered general kind of thing. You need to march up there and take that. He thought he was going to be the great remembered general as well. You know, how many generals in history have taken Rome? They don't necessarily have to battle in the streets of Rome, but like I say, Mark Clark battled for Rome outside of Anzio. Didn't have to. If he had pushed in fast, he probably could have made it into Rome without the battle. You know, you have Napoleon coming down through there. You got, I don't know the details, but Garibaldi, you know, in his unification of Italy. But you don't have a whole lot more until you really start getting, you know, the Renaissance. Sorry, yeah, I got a bunch of Renaissance kind of stuff moving around here, and Pope hiding in that big old Roman era fort thingy and stuff like that. But you don't have a lot of generals that have on their resume, I conquered the city of Rome. But nobody remembers because, and even though the news flash did go out, but in that day, yeah, you get a radio message back to the U.S. like from here, but really just try to get it propagated out and through the censorship press and get all that stuff out. The big news by that time, even if it was on the news, you know, the headlines of the newspaper, like on the morning of December 6th or something, by the evening report on December 6th, you've got the D-Day invasions hitting the newspapers, hitting the radio waves, whatever, you know, evening in America kind of thing, getting over there. So Rome is forgotten, but that still means you've had, I don't know, is it the Gothic line or whatever you've had here with Monte Cassino, that the Anzio front outflanked, and once they, you know, and it held on for a while because that was, you know, a pocket, if you will, or whatever, for a while. But then they were able to break out and get to Rome, but the Germans, I think, largely were still able to evacuate north of Rome to whatever the next line was, I forget. But the Gothic line may have been up here, I don't know. But whatever line it was called, you know, was able to pull out. But you had all these German troops fighting down here. You had German troops as like revolver held. We've gotten a few, well, like they stuck down the garrison for there and here, but that's not very much of. But some of these other units here, well, man, I'm looking, yeah, like here, that are looking, that were set up. I know I've shifted some away, but to hold down in Greece and Yugoslavia to, you know, counter invasions, and then they also had German troops down here counter invasions. So, you know, Germany was stressed on major fronts. Because I can tell you for sure, I cannot conceive of, with all of my experience in playing Hearts of Iron, that this invasion, even if it does take Calais somehow, and or even if it does take Dieppe and get a port, and then the U.S., even if the U.S. does, well, maybe if it, but I've never seen the U.S. be ready like I sort of was in Africa to move stuff across to Brazil. But I just can't imagine, you know, even if it's going to get enough forces to defeat me at this point. Oh, it might create, like I say, it might create a nice little pocket, and it might even get a port and fight here for a while, and it may take me real effort to, and I hope you can find it interesting enough to watch. Like I'm saying, it's a foregone conclusion that it's going to die, not a foregone conclusion of how quickly it's going to die. So I guess that I want to keep that for the, because I don't know yet, for the drama for the series, because no one's really in doubt of whether this is going to win or not. But it's going to lose, but just how quickly, how many forces will it take? And that's sort of what I hope you will be interested in to see. I know I sort of started the sign off here, but then I started talking again. So this does interest me. But so we have this. I'm glad I got these two divisions right here. Needs to be attached to a commander, and then he'll have better organization, but still. Not that one, but another one. Oh, that is just too funny. Funny, okay. So I've got to make two thumbnails. One with D-Day, but where, question mark, so that you'll want to click on it to see, just to see where it happens. I'm learning about thumbnails, because some of the stuff, you know, I've done, and I don't think they got so many views, because it said, like, Paris falls. Oh, okay. As opposed to, does Paris fall this episode? Question mark. Then more people, I think, would click on it. So, D-Day, but where will be the question. And then the second thumbnail, starting from after this one, will be a nice sort of collage image based on something from Hello, Hello, fighting D-Day, fighting Patton or something. I don't know. Oh, God, I still need to. Not, I mean... the reason I'm laughing is it's just too incredible that it happened right at that province. All the random chance stuff, and it all dubbed right there. Okay, again, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking the videos, and if you haven't already, subscribe, and of course post questions, comments, suggestions, ideas. And I do want your feedback on, not on this particular location, but the idea of forts and other defenses and what it should be. You know, maybe it should be that you build forts just so that you have more of a challenge or something. I don't know. So thanks so much. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.